period. On my black, brown, and indigenous. Gotta holler if you really feeling this. Gotta holler if you really real enough. Other rappers is delirious. Yeah, it's really that serious. Better holler if you really feeling me. I gotta keep it 100, ayy. If you don't like it, then fuck it, ayy. We gonna win in the end, yeah, we gonna live in abundance. I gotta keep it 100, ayy. If you don't like it, then fuck it, ayy. We gonna win in the end, yeah, we gonna. I gotta keep it 100. We gotta stop all the stunting. You know we coming from nothing. Yo, you talking about money, you bluffing. We gotta do something different. We gotta change how we live in. We gotta do better for women. We gotta do better for children. We gotta listen to victims, whether Jewish or Muslim or Christian. It doesn't matter your religion. You gotta stand against the system, or else you just another villain. How you just sitting there chilling?
We're gonna go on to something more lightly here. We got a good brother by the name of Sadaam Hassaan. How's it going, brother?
I'm good. And yourself, man? How you?
I'm doing very well, very well. Thanks for coming on to the show.
Thanks for having me.
We've been having some issues coordinated when we're going to meet. I'm glad we were able to get together. I apologize on that my part. I was moving and I had to relocate to a different spot. Now I'm getting settled and everything, and we good now.
Yeah, I'll be knowing how to go. You see me. I'm moving right now. But it's all good. we had it, though. You heard?
Word. So your name is pronounced Sadaam Hassaan, right?
Sadaam
Hassaan.
You said it right the first time. Yep.
Where you Muslim, my brother?
No, I'm not Muslim. I have a background of was Muslim, and you know, when I was 7 years old, I learned the Fatiha from top to bottom. You know what I mean? And that's when my pop went to jail, and I kind of like went on my own mission.
Got you. I feel you on that. My first name is Jamar, and it's a Middle Eastern name, and people ask me all the time if I'm Muslim and stuff like that speak Arabic and everything. I'm like, no, but I fucks with Malcolm X.
Yeah.
My guy right there.
Yes, sir. Man, you got to fuck with the X for the culture, man.
Facts. And so what you do a lot of things. First of all, let's get your banner under here real quick so people
we breaking up a little bit. That's pardon me. That's my bad.
Oh, okay.
What you said?
So you're a rapper, filmmaker, entrepreneur. How did you get into music?
Yo.
Yep.
I lost you for a second. You was
we're having technical difficulty, guys. Don't worry.
Yes. I'm ready to get on the Wi-Fi though, man. In like 30 seconds.
Word.
All right.
Word.
But what was the question? You said, do I do what? I'm sorry about that.
No problem. The question was about how did you start rapping? What inspired you to get into music?
Well, around that same time that we just spoke about, when I was around 7 years old, and my pop went to prison, my mother had purchased me a Jay-Z cassette tape. It was Jay-Z Hard Knock Life Volume 2. And that's when I started to, you know, like music, and I memorized every Jay-Z song from top to bottom. And you know, a few years after that, I started writing. I wouldn't necessarily say music, but I just started to write for a form of therapy. And you know, as I got into the streets, and I was actually living the life that these guys was talking about. I'm like, they rapping about my life that I'm living every day. I can do this shit. You know what I'm saying? So around like 13 years old, to answer your question, is when I started actually writing music.
Word. And you said that you were using it for, I like how you were saying you were using it for therapy and stuff like that. Like, that's so important. So basically, it was like a remedy to help you out with your own mental health and everything.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it was just a gateway for me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And you
Still
got some
is.
singles. You got some singles out. I gotta tell you, I love the trap record.
Right. Okay.
Fire, man. I was listening
Right.
to that. Like I got it in my playlist now.
My God. Okay, that's what I like to hear.
Yeah, you got another one called Flamer Flow. Fire.
Okay, yeah. Dropped that this summer. You watched the video?
Yeah. I watched both. Yep.
Okay,
Do
nice.
you direct as well?
Say that again.
You direct those videos?
Yeah, I coordinate with the videographer on everything, and one of my strengths is actually directing. You know what I'm saying? Like short film and stuff like that, and being behind the scenes. So yeah, I do what I can.
Yeah, I really appreciate the quality. I like who was that you was collabing with? CTF Bird.
Yes, that's my man Bird. He from out here in Delaware as well. One of the up and coming guys. Well known, good dude, stand up. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's my guy.
Man.
We came up around the same time.
How was the Delaware rap scene around there? I know that Connecticut we get overshadowed a lot because of New York. What's going on out there in Delaware with the rap scene there?
Well, I think for us it's kind of like you just said, y'all being overshadowed by New York and Connecticut. We're kind of like more overshadowed by Philly and all the other surrounding areas because Delaware is 30 minutes away from Philly, about an hour and a half, 2 hours away from New York. Pittsburgh about 2 hours away. So we right in the thick of it. You know what I mean? But it's definitely some talented artists out here. I like a lot of the new guys coming up right now. So I definitely see promise in the future for the Delaware music scene.
Word, for somebody that don't really know Delaware, who should they look up?
Man, it's a lot, man. I like my young boy Levi got it. Nice. He definitely dope. You just said CTF Bird, he dope. It's a few, man. It's a nice scene though, for sure.
Yeah, I think you're the first artist I've ever spoken to from Delaware. Delaware is so small. It's like what is it, like 50 miles or something like that?
Damn, bro, don't downplay it like that. I'm saying we
do y'all know everybody?
I think we're kinda for real. Like I ain't going there hold you how many times I just spoke with females and they, I dealt with their friend or something like that. Like it's real crazy. It'd be like, oh, you such and such baby dad. Damn. I can't even talk.
Getting exposed quick.
I'm talking it. Word up. But yeah, man, it's real spread out. It's small but spread out.
Word. Let's get into your works real quick. So you got a book out. I didn't get a chance to read it, but I'm going to definitely read it after this interview since I got some more time. What's the book about? What inspires you to write this book? Let's start with one question first. I gave you like two questions. Sorry about that.
Yeah, you did. I was ready to say that's a long form question, but go ahead.
Right. Let's start with the what inspired you to write this book?
What actually inspired me to write it was, well, first of all, the character Young Cannon. Young Cannon is actually he was like a mixture of all the guys that I grew up with in the projects, in the hood. You know what I'm saying? And Young Cannon is the young teenager growing up in America, growing up in the projects in the hood. And I just basically put a composite of all, like I said, all the guys I grew up with together. Like, you might got one guy, his mom was getting you feel me? Another guy, his pop was in jail. You know what I'm saying? And I tried to make Young Cannon a composite of all of those things so we can shed light on, why we are the way we are, why we resentful, why we angry, why we busting our gun, why we selling drugs at an early age.
Right.
And I just basically wanted to give our story in our culture from someone who's actually lived it and actually experienced it.
Mm, mm. That's deep. That's deep.
Yeah,
Do you think you'll want to write like a screenplay for it or a movie about it or anything?
absolutely. The screenplay is already done.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
Stage play, that's already done. Um, so yeah, and I'm not sure if you saw. We just released the soundtrack, so it's 3 songs and 3 skits. I'm about to drop the visuals for that. I'm telling the
Word.
story through the music. For those who don't read, this gonna
Right,
make them
right.
want to read. I guarantee you.
Oh yeah, because people like to use audiobooks a lot now. It's a big deal. It's like the new craze.
Right, right. So when you give it to them in the form of rap, and you give them the
Mm,
visuals to paint the picture, what I'm saying, it's gonna make them want to pick the book up. So I just wanted to revolutionize a little bit, try something
yeah.
different.
And I think it's important because it a book like that addresses not only just addresses but it humanizes the part of America that white America will want to forget about. Part of America that has always been around
Hmm.
oppression and racism, and redlining and all that stuff, and they rather gentrify than actually invest in the community. So
Yeah,
literature is so important so people can understand exactly what it's like
yeah,
coming in that community. I know I don't really talk about it as much, but I remember sport, which was a very rough, still is to this day, rough area. And my family members, they were flawed, and the family member before me, I got a few cousins locked up and stuff like that. The first person I looked up to was a drug dealer because he had the cars,
yeah,
he had the girls, he had a great life.
yeah,
Later on, I looked up to other artists and stuff like that, but that was the first person that I considered inspiration from until I started reading into revolutionary black figures and stuff like that. That was my way of seeing, all right, let's get out.
yeah,
And I sold weed and all that stuff like that, but I was never as in tuned into the streets as my friends were, but they were my friends, so I
yeah,
knew what was going on in the streets
yeah,
and stuff like that. One of my friends just got out, so I definitely want to just congratulate you for writing this story and getting it out there because more stories like that needs to get out there in order for people to get an understanding where people
yeah,
come from. Because once we have a full understanding and then we see a full relation, because there are still things that somebody in the suburbs can relate to someone in the hood. There are
yeah,
still a lot in common that we still have. And once we build that bridge, it can make better for a more healthier conversation. Um, do you get any backlash for your book or for your music? Do people like try to tell you, oh, you should do it this way, or make like try to get you to seek different direction?
Um, I mean, of course, that's happened with certain songs. Everybody always got their opinion.
Oh yeah,
And I'm the type of person that I hear it, I take it or I leave it, and that's that.
mm,
Um, but to your point, as far as you know, telling our story, and actually bridging the gap, I definitely agree that that's very important. And something like urban literature, this is something that actually does that, and that's why we need more exposure with things like this. And also, being in proximity with certain things is key as well. Like you said, you looked up to the drug dealers. Same here. I looked up to the drug dealers because that's what we were exposed to. You know what I
yeah,
mean? You know, coming from somewhere like Delaware, Wilmington, and
mm,
Philadelphia, mainly Delaware, um,
mm,
we never was exposed to players making it to the NBA or uh, mainstream artists or anything like that. So the
right,
people that we looked up to was definitely the drug dealers, and they was the guys that we saw with the girls and the cars and all the shit that we thought was important.
right.
The proximity of that. Versus where you go to somewhere like Atlanta, you know, you see one of them little 10-year-old little kids, they walking down on Lil Baby or T.I. Yo, let me get $100. They ain't starstruck. They don't give a fuck who you is.
Right.
You feel me? Like, we see you all day, every day. Let me get $100. You feel me? Like, so you feel me? They actually are in the proximity of, you know, fame and real success, I guess you would say.
Yeah, and I also feel that there needs to be a documentary or something about the influence, because like a lot of people talk about how the culture of hip hop is today, where it's like well, this term that I've heard, it's drug users music now instead of drug dealers music. And I'm just like, bro, like
right.
That's a whole nother conversation that we have to like address, because why is it? Why are people embracing using drugs right now? What is it about drugs that make it so important to talk about that? It's music now. It's hip hop. It's talking about drug use.
Yeah.
Metal was talking earlier before hip hop. Part is also talking about how important it was that gangs and drug dealers were able to make hip hop so big that it is, because it was their money. I mean, you see BMF shows out now. That's a whole history of how BMF has built so many rappers and so many artists.
Yeah.
And that was their way of trying to bring something positive out of something negative.
Yeah.
But the positivity and the negativity to me seems in a duality when it comes to drugs, because now that we have a content that talks about drug using, there's more nuanced conversation. You see weed is being legalized everywhere on, you know, how can we regulate and make drugs safe instead of, you know, like in the 80s with Reagan, DARE and stuff like that. What are your thoughts on that? Like how drugs basically are part of hip hop culture, negatively or positively? What are your thoughts on that?
Right. Well, first I would say you have to look at who's controlling the actual mainstream industry. You know what I mean? So not just let's take it a step further. Don't just look at it from the perspective of drugs being the drug addicts versus the drug dealers. Now, look at a lot of the female artists too, as well. You know what I'm saying? What sells the female artists for the most part? Well, their body, sex. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. What's the John McCarty and Megan? What was that John called again?
Oh, just some hoes in this house. There's some hoes in this house.
WAP. Yeah, WAP.
Yeah.
So like, you look at that and that joint bang. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, let's look at who's in control. Who's actually selling this to our people? You know what I mean? Who's actually painting this picture that you know, all the young artists have to be talking about drugs and being drug addicts and shit. You know what I mean? They selling that to our young bulls. You know what I mean? They selling that to our young girls. And, you know, there's other things as well that I see within that I'm not going to actually touch on, but you get the picture. You just got to look at who's actually in control of it. Like I said, that's why something like the Young Cannon book telling our story and our culture, the way it's supposed to be told from someone who's actually lived it, I think it's so important. And, you know, with me and you connecting from Connecticut to Delaware, this wouldn't have been possible 10, 20 years ago. So we got to look at that in a positive light, that we actually have more control now in order to expand our reach.
Right.
Nah, man.
And you know, it's the past can never be changed, so it's so important to make sure that the people that are talking about the past are the ones that were exposed to that past that they are trying to portray.
Right.
And I think that it's so important that we do have these conversations with us leading in these talks, because then it gives more a perspective of honesty and truth instead of a perspective of someone that was just uh, a, a witness,
Yeah.
or not even just a witness, a bystander, or what term am I looking for? Someone who read about, studied it, but didn't really get the
No
experience.
experience, right?
And you know, there's going to be disagreements within the Black community to this
Mm-hmm.
day. But what's important is that we have these disagreements, and they're not led by another outside force that makes us fight.
Mm-hmm.
We want to be against each other, but it's led by us talking and having a dialogue within our community.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, man. That's gonna be up to us, you know. And like I said, on the positive side, it's great that we have this reach right now.
Right.
Like I said, man, you wouldn't been able to have this conversation 10, 15 years ago, 20 years
Yeah.
ago. So we definitely are in control, and we have a great opportunity in order to broaden our horizons.
And, you know, technology is crazy. You know, how was COVID for you?
Man, COVID was, man, COVID was, what wasn't COVID? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? For all of us. One thing I know is what I got out of COVID was it actually showed me a new self. You know what I mean? New side of myself. It actually helped me grow more. You know what I mean? Mentally, physically, spiritually. You know, so I'm grateful for that. Um, you know, I don't think I lost any people during that time. You know, so
Mm.
on the positive side, it was definitely a growing experience.
Mm. So you was still being able to be inspired and able to write your music.
Yeah, absolutely,
Right.
absolutely. It was uh it was actually it actually brought me more focus to do that and bring you know, more projects together during that time, because
Mm.
all I did was just lock in and block everything out. That's not hard for me to do. I was already a person like that. So when COVID came, it was like it wasn't really nothing to me. It just actually enhanced everything that I was already doing. So
Right.
I was cool, bro.
Right.
I was
so,
cool, real talk.
so it gave you like some time to calm down and like reflect and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Basically. Yeah.
absolutely. Something that I think that we all need to do anyway. And another thing it did too, because I was going to the gym a lot. I was working out a lot
Mm.
before COVID. I was getting my body right. And when the gyms and everything shut down, I'm like, damn, what am I gonna do? So, you know, I had to purchase some things off of Amazon and stuff, workout materials, and I start running every day. Every day I would start running like a mile or two every day. And I got all the way up to like 5 miles. I'm thinking about doing a 5K or something next March. Me and a few of my homies.
Wow.
Yeah.
David, you think you know David Goggins?
Goggins is that guy. Yeah.
Yo, yeah, that
Goggins
guy
is
is a
my guy.
sick bastard, bro.
Yeah, Goggins, Goggins is a wild bull, man. He's a cannon. He's a cannon, boy. I actually read his
Who's
book.
gonna hold the boats?
Yeah, he's taking souls and shit. Yeah. Yeah.
How big is 5K? Is that like 500 kilometers, or like what does that mean? I'm not well versed into the 5K.
Right. 5K. I believe the 5K is the half a marathon, I believe. Don't
Mhm.
quote me. And I know the half a marathon is 20, is it 26?
26 miles.
26. I think it's 26. Yeah.
Mm.
So
Okay.
I think I
And you
can do
doing
that.
it for like just you want to like get into like some competition, or you doing it for charity? Like you just what made you want to get into the 5K?
Yeah, it's definitely not for no competition. I'm my own competition. But word, I'm my own competition. But
Right.
I just want to do it because I think doing hard things is something that we should do all the time. And it's something that broadens your confidence. It's something that gives you meaning. And if I can do it for a charity or something, that'd be the more the better. And that'll give me more motivation, you know. So but definitely not for no competition. That'll be the last thing.
Right.
Yeah.
So what this LOE stands for?
LOE stands for League of Elite Entertainment. So basically, it's my entertainment LLC based company. And basically the brand basically stands for just be elite at whatever you do, be great at whatever you do. You know what I mean?
Word.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's dope. And how long you had this brand? How long has this brand been going on? I'm gonna keep moving my mic, but I have a new mic, so I'm trying to figure out the adjustment points with it. Excuse me about that.
Well, good. It sounds good, actually. It sounds good.
Oh, thank you.
But what was the question again? You said when did we start it?
Yeah. How did you get this brand together? How did it start? Do you have artists under you? Like a little follow up. Yeah.
Excuse me. I don't actually have any artists under me yet. I'm still working towards that because I'm still in artist mode right now, and
yeah.
That's the mode I got to be in right now in order to try to put other artists in position. I have 3 authors under me though on the book publishing side, so that's one thing that we're getting moving right now. And what did you say? You said when did we start it? This is our 5th year. This is the 5th year, and I feel like this is a good time right now because a lot of things are starting to actually take off right now. When they always say the 5th year is the year that you should know if the company going to stand and be able to hold itself above water, or is it going to drown? So I feel confident in that.
Yeah. A lot of people lost their businesses during this last 2 years.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm in New Haven, Connecticut. New Haven, Connecticut is a very popular city because of Yale. And
Yale University?
Yeah.
Okay.
I live 2 blocks away from the campus.
Yeah.
Right. That's where I just moved. Yeah. And my thing is like the businesses that you see are gone. The real good ones. Some have remained, but it's like half. It's like half and half now. It's like people are gone.
Yeah.
There was a Taco Bell here, which me and my girl were pissed about because they sold margaritas. They had margaritas there with the Taco Bell, and I used to love going there, have some tacos and margaritas, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's gone.
Oh man.
I'm like, no.
They rained on your whole parade, dog.
Yeah, man. So I gotta say, it's so beautiful. I mean, I started this podcast during the pandemic.
Okay.
And it's growing, and I'm happy. And I think that the reason why it's growing so well is because I don't really need to go outside or anything. So I guess people are trying to find ways they can make money in a different way until things are more better now. We still have the mask mandate and everything going on still.
Okay.
So it's great that you were able to keep your brand going, you know? Like that's amazing. You survived.
Hey man, we still striving. We still striving, and every day is a battle. Every day is a growing pain. So
right.
Every day, man, we just chucking at it, man, trying to get better. You know what I mean?
Now, as an artist, how do you feel about well actually finish your thought.
I was
totally different thought. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was about to ask you about the podcast. What made you actually start the podcast? Like, was it something that you always wanted to do, or was it just like, yo, let me try something new? Like, what was your thoughts on that?
All right. Well, I started it out with 3 friends.
Okay.
And then later on, life happens. So one of my friends have 2 kids. Other friend, he is not really as around as much because he has other ish going on, work and all stuff like that. So it just ended up being me. I mean, for a little bit beginning, it was him as well too. But I wanted to bring on a lot of people that has a lot of different stories because of my background with activism and Black liberation stuff. I wanted to build a platform to get people to have a great conversation because we always had great conversations.
Yeah.
Now it later on turned into just interviewing, talking to people that interest me, and try to get more local people on. But in the meantime, I have built so much great relationships growing relationships with other artists and their music groups, their publicists, lawyers and stuff like that. So I'm just like, wow, this is really expanding into something that can actually be like a tool for someone that wants alternative news or alternative understanding of what's going on. And my main focus is working class issues, so I try to add that type of spice to it as well too, as always, which is why I like talking about artists, because artists, for instance, is like the most exploited with their music, and we get destroyed with deals and stuff. So it's so important to like have these conversations so other artists, they hear this and they get warned. They're like, all right, yeah, I hear you saying that you want to give me a meal up front, but I just heard this podcast that told me that I might need to pay y'all that back. Actually, get warned.
Don't even cast the check.
Right?
Don't keep that shit.
Right?
Word.
Because I'm an artist as well too. I'm a rapper and I'm a percussionist. I'm in a band and everything.
Okay.
So I wanted to expand on that with being a part of like just growing in the artist community and meeting so many great people, which I have had so far. I mean, fuck, I even spoke to somebody from 3-6 Mafia that was like in one of the 3-6 Mafia factions. Like,
okay,
that was a beautiful episode. Shouts out to Scam Man. His album just came out.
Nice.
Do you have an album coming out? Are you working on that, or you just pushing singles, which is all still great?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Right now, I said, like I said, the Young Cannon soundtrack is out right now. That's 3 songs. That's 3 skits. That's the focus right now. Young Cannon.
You gotta pick that up. I'm gonna put the link in.
Yeah, do that. Actually, the Young Cannon 2 book will be out soon as well. We got a bunch of other projects coming in the pipeline. Every book that I put out, probably going forward, novel, not self-help and all that. I don't even know if I'm gonna get into all that. But every novel that I put out is definitely going to have an EP soundtrack with it, because, you know, like I said, I'm revolutionizing, man, doing something different, doing something that I'm more comfortable with doing. But far as like putting out an album or a mixtape, I'm not sure. I've done that in the past, and I'm just ready to do something different for now.
Right. Yeah, take your time.
Yeah, and they can actually your viewers, they can actually get a free copy of the Young Cannon book. You know what I'm saying? So let's tell them go to leagueofeliteentertainment.com and they can go ahead and get their free copy of the Young Cannon book, and we'll send them the link to also stream the EP as well. So
leagueofeliteentertainment.com.
Yes, sir.
Oh, all right. Yeah. And just side, because we're about to close out. So just want to ask you this, because I heard the whole thing with Travis Scott. That was crazy. Have you heard about that?
I kind of like saw the headline, but a lot of it should be clickbait. So I don't be really, I be focused on what I got going on. That should be fake a lot of times. So I did see something about, I saw one thing, it said something about somebody getting shot or injured at a concert, and I seen some other shit with Travis Scott, but I ain't really read too much in it because it be clickbait a lot of times.
Right. Well, I think the sad part is they're trying to blame him as fully responsible because 8 people got trampled to death at the concert. It was like, I think it was like a good thousands of people there.
Yeah.
And they were saying that he was inciting the crowd, trying to get them too excited and act up, which is terms that I've never heard of really before when it comes to artists, because I've been to a lot of metal band concerts as well. And let me tell you, motherfuckers be getting kicked, speared. They got this shit called the Wall of Death, where they split the crowd down to the line.
Oh shit! What's that about?
I mean, well, they just call the Wall of Death because I think it sounds cool, but it's really just they just split the crowd up into 2 sides and stuff, and then some people go into the middle and start fucking swinging, acting up, and then they clashing like it's a fucking Spartan war or some shit like that. But I just think that it was really, I find it really interesting because for the first time, I'm hearing about, unless there was something else that I never heard before, that they're actually like accusing Travis Scott for the murders of fans that were trampled, which is very, very sad that happened. But I think there's more to that than to just blame the artist.
Yeah.
Like Live Nation is the event promoter and the concert that he was doing the Astro Award Festival with as a partner with. And they have a history of over 200 people being murdered in their concerts. So why didn't they get any type of?
What you mean? You're saying like 200, like history wise altogether, or like that happened at one event before?
Not at one event. It's just over time with their events, people have been.
That's just still bad.
Yeah. And it's just like, so what is the conditions? The conditions there, are they being mindful or taking precautions on how to move the crowd, or maybe they just need to worry about how big capacity is instead of just like trying to make it the greatest thing. I mean, it's COVID right now too. I wouldn't want to be around filling up places like that where there's thousands of people. That's just crazy. But
COVID ain't going nowhere though.
Right. Oh no, it's not. And that's one thing people gotta like fully understand, that this is here to stay. It's not gonna go anywhere.
Yeah, it ain't let's go back to the old days, and no,
right.
Bro, it's not. What old days? You know what I mean? We evolving.
It's over.
But what was I going to say? Well, it don't sound like to me that the artist is responsible for that, if that's not his actual event space. You know what I'm saying? I think from what it sounds like to me, it sounds like who's ever responsible of ensuring the actual place is who that falls back on. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, that's not like an insurance issue or something.
Yeah, but he did everything he can. They still blaming him. He's paying for their funerals, everything.
Yeah, they gonna do that.
It just, I mean, I'm not trying to pull race, but I've never heard of that from a white artist.
Yeah,
because people have been dying in concerts for decades. I mean, like last time I heard, I think it was like a rock concert where 11 people were murdered in. This is like in the 70s. It's like, so it's like, bro, it's like, this is new that they're actually like trying to hold the artists accountable for being hired to be the main act for their concert. Like,
was there other artists there?
I don't know who else was on that bill. It was the Astro World Festival, so you know his album Astro World. So it was like his main thing. And he probably made a lot of fucking money on that. And he has to like give half of that away or something. Like, I don't know how that goes. It's kind of sad. But I just think that it's something to be mindful about, because they're literally blaming him. And what's next? What else? Like, what are you gonna blame black people for now? Like, that's literally what I'm thinking. I'm like, what are you gonna blame black people for now? Oh, we controlled the crowd. We controlled them. Like, no, they got crazy. They got excited. And plus, you got to think about drugs. I mean, drugs are a big deal in concerts. You know, who goes to a concert sober? Somebody got a drink on them or something. Like,
I don't care who you are.
Right?
You want to get lit.
Exactly, you're gonna get lit, man. I want to thank you so much for coming on. Sadaam, right?
Sadaam. Dang, man. Come on, Jabbar. But
what is wrong with me?
Thank you for having me as well, man.
Yeah, man. And everybody definitely check out his new single, his new singles, Trap, and also Flamers Flow. Flamers Flow, Trap. He got videos out for that too. Check out his book, Young Cannon. Check out his soundtrack to that book, which I'm about to check out too. I'll tell you, this dude is fire, man. This dude is fire. I wouldn't have this guy on here if he wasn't fire, so don't even try to act like he not fire. You're gonna like his music too when you hear it.
They won't be disappointed.
Straight out of Delaware, you know.
Sure. My God.
LOE. You know what I mean? This is the first Delaware rapper I ever had the pleasure of meeting. Love to have you back on the show, friend of the show, man. And for everybody else that's listening out there, have a very good, safe day. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Yes, sir.
Have a good day, Sadaam.
You too, man.
So much,
I hope this is the first of many, man. I'll be talking to you again.
Oh, facts, man. Yeah, we'll keep in touch, bro. I definitely would love to have you back on. Maybe we can have you back on with a panel of artists. I'm trying to get this thing together real quick about having like a panel of artists on. We just had discussions. Panel artists from all around the world, you know.
Let's get it.
India and all types of shit, man. All right, man. Yo, have a good day. And have a good day, everybody. Peace, everybody.
All right, man. Be on.
Collectively transforming community. Peace in our human family. Volume of unity. Divine light shining individually. Collectively transforming community. Peace in our human family. One love, one growth, as above, so below. Feel the pain in my soul, the red pill dissolved. Organized, no matter the cost. Politicians start wars, they don't fight, they sit the poor. And nothing lasts forever as long as we stay together. Give hell to the masses, watch the unity rapture. This is for the kids and the culture. It's one love, one growth, one light, light warriors.
Yeah.